What is up guys, today I will be generating a random word and using that as the basis for designing an entire brand from scratch in just one afternoon. What will that word be? What kind of business or brand will we create from that word? And is this even possible in one afternoon? Good question. I actually should have thought of that before I started this. We have the random word generator up. Here we go. Cloudy. So the first one is going to be our practice round. We have 5 minutes on the clock, starting now. Objective number one, decide what kind of brand we're going to do. Cloudy. It's obviously like weather. Okay, I'm thinking mental health support app. Or the other one is meditation. Maybe it's a meditation app for mental health. Big brain, the mind, brain waves, cloud. Maybe like a cloud and a mind. I think that's as good as we're gonna get it. If I don't get this done in time, you know the drill. It's 20 push-ups. What does a brain look like? That is something that a brain should be able to answer. Just a really easy default color. I don't know if I like that very much. I don't have time to think about it. Oh no, maybe, yeah, because it's a cloud. What is a brain? I spent too much time thinking. Story of my life. Oh my god. Am I an artist or what? That's so bad. Oh, it doesn't even look like a cloud at all. Cloudy. Jesus. I don't like this font. It's an app. It's gotta look slightly app-ish. Bang. Cloudy. This is what we did in 5 minutes. I feel like it kind of shows. Maybe it's kind of like a maze. Mental health is like the maze of the mind. Pretty shit. Pretty fucking shit. It's shit. It's fucking shit. Shit. But yeah, you know, whatever. Could be worse, honestly. It would be better without any of this, just this. Now let's see if I give myself, how long am I gonna give myself? 2 hours, whether we can come up with anything a little bit better. And at the end of this video, I will be polling you guys on Instagram, whether you like the 5 minute or the 2 hour version better. If you guys vote for the 5 minute one, then I will jump into the freezing cold river and swim laps. So keep an eye out for that. Our next word is needless. Now that's interesting. It doesn't lean itself naturally like anything. I don't know. Let's see what we can come up with. Into the sketch pad. Welcome. Starting officially now. Not needed or wished for. Having no need. So this angle is kind of depressing, whereas this one is more empowering. Or maybe it's like needing less yourself. Anti-consumerism. Eco-packaging. Top 7 most polluting industries. Okay, food retail. Maybe it's a grocery chain or 100% recyclable plastic grocery chain. I think grocer makes the most sense at this point. Although needless kind of... I don't think like a grocery would want to be called needless because people go in there thinking they need less. Ironic considering a lot of homeless people like starving and shit. Probably way overthinking this, to be honest. We're already 13 minutes in. Could it be a company that recycles your shit for you? You know what would actually be sick? It's a company that every week goes around the neighborhood, collects food that we can't eat, and then gives it to like homeless people. We don't need the food, someone else needs it. Needless. Take from the rich, give it to the poor. It's a pretty random idea, but I think it's cool. Oh, now I am dizzy. Now let's get into some design shit. This is what you came for. Personality. Let's get some keywords happening. Warm, inviting. The trouble with doing good deeds is the more friction there is doing that thing, the less you want to do it. So you want the branding to feel like, oh, easy, effortless, familiar, and approachable. Uplifting, empowering, respectful. This to describe our customers. Passionate, middle to upper class. 25 to 65 years. Brands they buy. Let's say like Whole Foods, Tesla. Okay, we have killed 27 minutes. Sheesh. How do we want the brand to look and feel? So I'm thinking simple, bright, easy, round. I think quite youthful. I think more organic. That gives us a good vibe. Now let's jump into Le Pinterest, or Pinterest, as my old design teacher used to say. Needless. I'll make this available to everyone in the description below so you can check out the board afterwards if you want to suss out some of my inspo. This one immediately is like capturing my attention. I sort of like this slightly random, actually that's a good idea, is like slightly rough around the edges. Kind of almost patchworky. It's all about like what you don't need, the kind of leftovers. It's kind of nice to like lean into that a little bit and sort of have these slightly abstract, kind of cut out, almost like collage kind of look to it. The little faces. Yes. That's a sexy looking pair. I love that little dude. Fuck yes. Ooh, that's cool too. This is the thing with Pinterest, is I always try to picking one thing, going to the next thing, jumping around, because that's always where the gold is. Where is my thing? There it is. Stickers. Banana. 40 minutes in. Shush. 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 I quite like this one. It was at 0. Symmetry kind of gives that idea of like reusing, recycling. Man, I should really get into this expediting. I'm kind of liking the lowercase. Something a little bit like that. Oh, why am I spelling it with 2 E's there? Fucking hell. I am unstoppable with bloody scallion. Scallion. For some reason at this stage, I start referring to his last name as Scallion with an I. Oh man. So I don't mind that vibe. I think the other opportunity we have is the double E. Kind of represents from one to the other. Like maybe we get this kind of contrast where this and this structured geometric, and then this could potentially be the logo, and then you could start bringing in these kinds of shapes when you do the brand identity. I think that's pretty cool. Alrighty guys, welcome back. We have our name, obviously, we have our industry, our concept. I'm thinking like a logo type with the E's. Let's put together a bit of a mood board with like kind of colors and shapes. So I'm feeling good about it. Now we're gonna jump into Illustrator, what we can make happen with the remaining 1 hour that we have left. To start off, let's put down some typography. Needless. I think it's gonna be all about that contrast between the more standard typography and something funky, organic. I don't know, I'm honestly feeling this one. I wonder if I substitute it in. I mean, no. More of that sort of a situation. Spent much longer on that than I should have. We have 47 minutes left. I'm having second thoughts about this supplementary type now. It's all fucking shit. This is always the thing. It's like, oh, in the sketch it looks good. It looks good in the sketch. Yeah, fuck, that sketch looks pretty good. Let's try this one. Better. I keep seeing it as like needles with 2 S's. Having second thoughts about this whole idea. I think it's a little far gone at this point though, so I might be fine. I mean, look, this is not that far off. Could it overlap a little bit like that? Whoa, what are we up to in terms of timing? 30, fuck me, motherfucker. Alright, my camera's about to die. Handicraft, so look. I don't know quite how I feel about that. See, I actually kind of like this better, I think. Bit here feels a little bit problematic. Jesus Christ, we do not have anywhere near enough time. Okay, enough fucking dilly-dallying. This is our logo for the time being. Bada bing, bada boom. Little pro tip for all you designers out there. Add a little TM symbol to anything. Instantly looks better. 20 minutes left. Definitely spent far, far longer on that than I should have. Not very strategic at all. Now this is where the fun begins. Oh, that's right. We need to do the loop-de-loop. We need some kind of color palette. What can I steal? These are some images I'm going to use for reference. It's not stealing because I said so. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Loving this orangey red. Okay, now we've kind of got this sort of outliney thing happening. We pick that red, crudely follow the outline. Okay, talking earlier about the idea of putting faces on these guys, which that looks terrible. Do we like that? Not a whole lot. That's honestly a little bit better. See, that's cool. Let's go with that. 7 minutes. We got our little guys like that. Ugh. Let's try another little person, shall we? Oh, it's in the mask. Fucking dog dick. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So within the 2-hour mark, I was able to arrive on the typography, colors, illustration style for the brand. That's a pretty good place to leave that. I'm probably going to spend like another hour or so and just create some kind of mock-ups to show off the brand and the personality that we created in this hour. It's definitely a bit more of a struggle than I had bargained for, but you know, what can you do? Okay guys, so it's been a little while and I've done some mock-ups for the brand to sort of show you what it would look like as a real brand. I'm going to bring in me mum, a bit of a second opinion. Mother! You ready?
Yes.
I'm covering it up on the screen to give you a little bit of context. This was based upon a random word that I generated. And then I tried to basically create the brand around that, kind of figuring out what does actually the brand do, kind of personality, everything like that. So, without further ado.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Needless.
That's brilliant.
Needless collects unused food from homes and businesses to store and redistribute to those in need. And to me, needless is kind of like without need. Takes a need from someone and sort of fulfills that. But then also needless is like you no longer need it. So that was where like food from those who don't need it. I took the 2 E's and I wanted that to kind of represent going from one to the other. Connection and also getting a idea of like upcycling or from giving from one person to another, and it gives it this sort of authentic written sort of feel to it. So the font there, a grandeur, color palette here, fun, fresh, approachable, rewarding, uplifting, empowering, different versions. I kind of almost wanted to have a bit of a scrapbook aesthetic to it, slightly misfit. It was better to lean into that. So we got these little illustrations, character illustrations.
Sort of like a sponge print.
Yeah, kind of like the offset between the background color and then the line work over the top. Names and personalities and stuff. So these kind of become a fun little set of characters that you can use across all the different collateral and whatnot. Comics that I did. And also, where possible, I've introduced this same sort of loop, a hallmark to the brand's identity. As you can see.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
Advertisements. Your surplus could be someone's supper. Imagining a big green truck kind of going around, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty distinctive.
Very.
And here I'm using those illustrations without the outlines, sort of a bit more like background elements. Landing page for a website. Food waste erased. At certain points I've introduced these same kind of looping lines into the words. See if you're eligible. Have to depend on whether it comes to your area or approved food list. Like, oh, there's moldy tomato. You know, just lop it in there. Here's how it works.
Wow.
Find the food in your house that you no longer need or is close to its expiry date. Deposit the food on your front door on the stated date in one of our provided boxes.
Love the graphics,
Transport.
darling. I love the little truck.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
We'll pick up the food in one of our famous green refrigerated trucks for transport.
Oh, famous. It's famous already.
It is famous. So, we gift the food to those in need through partnerships with local food banks, shelters, and our own storeroom. Welcome to all in need. So I was kind of imagining they have a fridge where you can come and then they partner with like food banks and homeless shelters and all that kind of thing. Like you could see, oh, where's my money actually going? And show the stories of the people and what's actually happening. And you can be like, oh, that's really awesome. And then at the bottom, just join our mailing list to keep up to date with our mission.
Cute. Absolutely love it. Did you just do that today?
No. The logo and identity I did within a 2-hour time limit. Everything else I sort of created based upon what I'd established. What do you think? What would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, 10, 11.
11?
Definitely. Right, you pay me later, so.
Yeah, thanks for that. Pretty keen on how it turned out. I'll be sharing all these posts on Instagram and all that jazz, so you can go follow me there if you want to. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it a bunch. Definitely super fun to make. These do take a while though, so if you enjoy and you want me to make more videos like this one, drop a like, subscribe, join the Design Nerds, do all that good stuff. If you're interested in any graphic design or branding work, that is of course something that I do professionally. Links for that will be below. Poll on Instagram, luckily. So far 70% of you guys are saying the top one, so whew, I'm in the clear. And don't go anywhere, there's more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one. So, see you next time.